y'all doing? Now today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to build this garage shelf right here. Now this is a very versatile design. With this, you can do it just like I did with just 2 shelves. You can do 3 shelves, however many shelves you need or whatnot. You can even stretch this thing all the way across your garage, so you can put heavy boxes and things and stuff like that on there. This thing is sturdy, I'm telling y'all. I did it out of 2x3s just to cut cost, and I don't feel any different. It feels really strong and secure. This thing don't feel like it's going anywhere. So I definitely would recommend you not spending that extra money on 2x4s and just using these 2x3s. You definitely gonna save a lot of money on that. So I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. So stay tuned, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and let's get building. So I measured out how much I need. I wanted 36 inches for where I was at. So I'm gonna need to make 4 of these exact cuts. So what I did is move my table where it needs to be and put a little stop block down here so that I can just pull this down, bam, with my stop, boom, and then just keep moving on so I can get repeated cuts at the same length. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, now I'm gonna go check this one to make sure that it is the right length that I need before I even move on. Keep on cutting. All 4 of those, looking exact, and move on to the next part we need. All right, so now I measured out 22. This is gonna be the middle of our box. And I did the same thing, I just moved my saw down to make it so I can use the same stop block because I don't got a good system set up yet. Now we're gonna go double check just to make sure that everything looks right. I'm glad I double checked because it was about 1/4 inch, a little bit too small. There was something at the bottom of my garage that was in the way of this actually fitting there perfectly. So I'm actually gonna have to take it down a little bit. I'm glad I didn't cut all 4 of them and then build it and then figure out at the end that I messed up. So it always pays to double check. So we're gonna move this over and check it out again. Now this is basically the box that we're trying to make. We got our little outsides and then some braces in the middle. Depending on how big or small you do your shelf, it's gonna look a little bit different than this, but this is the basic setup. Now you have 2 options on how to connect this. You can just pre-drill some holes and just drill some screws right in there, 1, 2. But I'm not gonna do that. I have this Craig jig, so I'm gonna use this and then drill some holes in there for the Craig jig, with the Craig jig, and then I can just screw these right in there. Now, there's 2 reasons why I'm doing that. One is because I feel like it's, a lot stronger, and then also it will hide some of the screw holes, so you're not just seeing, screws hang out here. It'll just be looking flat, and it'll look a little bit better that way. So. All right, you see here, I just made a nice line in the middle, so I can line it up right here with one of these lines on here. Real easy, real repeatable. All right, now we're ready to assemble everything. I got this side squared up and looking good, and I got these braces on here. Just to keep it in line. And dealing with these Craig jigs, a lot of times when you screw them in, it tends to want to move. So it's good to get that locked in. I'm gonna do the same on this side, but first we're gonna add some glue. Go to brush that. I need to get one of these Rockler brushes. They work easy. You ain't gotta get your hands all glued up. we got our first one built. Looking good. Same thing on the next one. All right, so the final piece, I measured out to 65. This is what's gonna be kind of holding it up in the front. And you're gonna need 2 of these. So this is the first one. And you know, it might be different for you depending on how big or small you're making your little shelf or whatnot. Same concept though, you're gonna need 2 of these big ones. All right, now we got our 65-inch legs already cut out. Now we need to attach it to the top shelf. And we're gonna glue it here. I'm gonna drill some holes and then screw it into place, and then we'll go set it up. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So this is how it looks once it's all stood up. See, the front 2 legs is holding up from the front, and I got just a little scrap piece of wood kind of holding up in the back and making sure I can get it level. Now we got it all leveled up. It's time to drill some screws in here. Now you wanna make sure you drill some screws into a stud. Now I found about 3 or 4 in this wall right here, but either way it goes, you just wanna make sure the weight is evenly spread out throughout the shelf so you don't have any problems with sagging or it not holding what you need it to. All right, I got my lawnmower here because this is gonna sit underneath that first shelf. I'm kind of just positioning this one to sit in the right spot. It's actually pretty tight, so it should be kind of sitting by itself. I'm just gonna put the rest of these screws in. We got some 3-inch screws that we're gonna be using. And I just got this right here. It's called the Stud Buddy. And this kind of helps you find the studs. It's basically a big magnet on the back. As you see, everything's sticking to it. And in your wall, when they're putting your studs in, which is big things like this, then you know, you move it along inside there, where the nail is, that's where you know where the stud is gonna be. So let's try to find that on this. Then I just cut out, this is some cheap wood I got. What is this stuff called? I forgot. All right, now we got our little boards in place. Cut things out to size. Now you could just leave it like this, moving around a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. I have a nail gun, so I might as well put it to good use. So I'm gonna nail this in, make sure I don't go nowhere. Now if you don't got a nail gun, then you can just screw it in or get some little cheap tiny nails. You don't want really big nails because this wood is real cheap, so it'll easily, you know, crack and all that stuff. But it is sturdy, so it'll do the job. And that's it. And there we go, we all done. Now you see everything up there all nice and organized and ain't just randomly just sitting on the floor. This makes it so much more convenient and just looks 10 times better. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to check out this garden rack that I made right here, there'll be a new video on that coming up real soon. Get everything looking nice and organized. Till next time, appreciate it.